Listen very carefully to these tips and lessons from a very wise 90-year-old woman. You will be amazed. True sexual pleasure lies in the intimate connection you share with your partner. Open and honest communication is the most effective lubricant for a satisfying sex life. Exploring new sexual experiences is like opening gifts, exciting, intriguing, and full of surprises. Foreplay is the appetizer to the banquet of sexual pleasure. Self-confidence is the most potent aphrodisiac in the bedroom. Confident sex is like an essential condiment in the recipe for pleasure. Orgasm is the icing on the cake, but the journey to it is the real treat. Respect your partner's boundaries as if they were sacred frontiers. Sexuality is like a work of art, unique, beautiful, and worthy of admiration. Diversity in the bedroom is the key to keeping the flame of passion alive. Sexual self-care is the foundation for a healthy and satisfying sex life. Laughter and love are the best emotional lubricants for a pleasurable sexual relationship. There is no one right way to enjoy sex, each partner is a universe of possibilities. Sexual intimacy is a sensual dance where both partners are the protagonists. The true beauty of sex lies in its ability to unite body, mind and spirit in an extraordinary experience. In intimacy, darkness cannot be overcome by more darkness, only the light of desire can dispel it. Hatred between lovers cannot be dispelled by more hatred, only passionate love can do that. In the end, what we will remember is not the criticisms of those who wish us ill, but the silence of those who might have shared our passion. Those who do not seek self-satisfaction are the ones most likely to find it in shared passion, because those who only pursue their own pleasure forget that true bliss lies in mutual satisfaction. If you aspire to be an unforgettable lover, you must be willing to question and explore everything that propels you toward ecstasy. Sexual freedom lies in how we respond to the desires and fantasies we share with our lovers. Any time, even 3 a.m., is the perfect time to let passion drive you. Every whispered word and every shared silence has its weight and its consequence in the dance of desire. A man who has not explored the depths of his passions in the bedroom has never reached his sexual fulfillment. Happiness is magnified when shared in the intimacy of the bed. He who attaches too much importance to the opinions of others pays an excessive price in the sexual realm. If we suspect that a man is lying in the bedroom, we should act as if we believe him, because that makes him bolder and more confident, increasing the intensity of his deception until he is discovered. Sexual practices do not transform the world, but they do transform people, and it is people who change the world. We are not rich by what we possess in bed, but by what we can enjoy without having it. The most sensual people experience the most intense emotions in intimacy, which leads them to value life, even in its darkest moments. The fault of the young is to believe that they can find all sexual satisfaction in the act. A wicked person cannot find satisfaction in the solitude of his bed, he is alone in his depravity. Many know that they are unsatisfied in love, but even more are unaware of the ecstasy they could experience. The more generous one is in bed, the less one worries about the other's shortcomings. The sexual future comes slowly, the present is intensely enjoyed, and the past is kept as sensual memories. The astute seek not so much solitude as escape from external noise. The greatest folly is to sacrifice sexual pleasure for any other form of satisfaction. A man can only truly be himself in intimacy, and if he does not enjoy solitude in bed, he will never understand the freedom it offers. Only in intimacy is true freedom achieved. Being honest with oneself in the sexual act is essential. We are never so vulnerable to pleasure as when we are in love. The virtuous lover is content to imagine what the sinner realizes in reality. True love is found only where one can show oneself vulnerable without fear of judgment. One cannot be deeply sensitive in sex without experiencing moments of sadness. Man's main task in intimacy is to discover himself. To be happy is to be able to fully enjoy the sexual experience. Time is nothing more than the space between our memories. When we cease to perceive this space, time disappears. Love ceases to be a demon only when it ceases to be a constant struggle. God strikes me how sharing our weaknesses and difficulties is more nourishing to others than bragging about our successes in bed. When we love and respect our partners, revealing their value to them, they can begin to come out from behind the walls that protect them. People cannot accept their own sexuality if they do not feel loved, respected, and trusted at the same time. If the path before you is clear, you are probably on someone else's path. Everything that irritates us about our lovers can lead us to understand ourselves. That's why, even in a happy sex life, darkness and sadness have their place. Men need erotic challenges, they are necessary for their sexual health. Loneliness does not come from not having sex, but from being unable to communicate our sexual needs or to sustain certain desires that others find unacceptable. Sex life really begins when you allow yourself to explore your own pleasure. The greatest erotic challenges are fundamentally unsolvable. Men can endure the toughest sexual challenges if they find meaning in them. Doubt is not the opposite of faith, it is an element of sexual faith. The first duty of love is to listen to your partner's fantasies and desires. Sexual health far outweighs all other blessings in life. Hope is actually the worst of all sexual evils, because it prolongs the torments of unfulfilled desire. No one can build for you the bridge over which precisely you must cross the stream of desire. Spend your time in perfecting yourself in the art of love, so that you may easily obtain what others have found difficult. Imitate the habits of your lovers, adopt their interests, their desires, and their way of interpreting erotic fantasies. Smart people learn from everything and everyone in bed. Normal people learn from their sexual experiences. Stupid people think they have all the answers ready-made in bed. Circumstances do not define a man in bed, they simply reveal him as he is in his intimacy. Happiness in sex always resides within yourself. In the bedroom, the right question is often more important than the right answer. No man experiences the same sexual pleasure twice, because it is never the same man and it is never the same experience. A confident person avoids two things in life: gossip and petty conflict, choosing instead to cultivate understanding and harmony in bed. Boastful speeches are the first sign of sexual weakness, and those who are able to remain calm are the true masters of pleasure. The first rule in sex is to keep a calm spirit. The second is to look things in the face and understand them in their essence. Just as a gem cannot be polished without friction, a man cannot perfect himself in the art of love without understanding. Our sexual plans fade when they lack purpose. If a man does not know what he is looking for in bed, then no amount of stimulation will be satisfying. The most powerful man is the one who has mastery over his own desire. He distrusts the lover who urges an action that he himself does not risk in bed. Difficulties in sex strengthen the mind as much as work strengthens the body. Everything we hear in bed is opinion, not fact. Everything we see is perspective, not absolute truth. Sexual difficulty should not be confused with an inability to achieve pleasure. Think of yourself as dead, and then you will live your sex life authentically. In the bedroom, as nowhere else, man can find a quiet retreat into his own soul. The more honest one is in bed, the less suspicious he is of the dishonesty of others. When you find yourself criticizing someone in the sexual realm, ask yourself what aspect of yourself most resembles what you are judging in the other. 3 things never come back in sex: time, word, and opportunity. So don't waste time. Choose your words wisely and don't waste the sensual opportunities that come your way. Sexual opportunities multiply as you take advantage of them, no matter how slowly you progress in the act. If you make a mistake in the bedroom and don't correct it, that mistake becomes part of your sexual experience. Attack your own sexual weaknesses instead of pointing out those of others. Silence in bed is a true ally that will never betray you. What the superior man seeks in himself, the little man seeks in others. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength in the act, while deeply loving someone gives you courage. Sex life is a series of natural changes, Don't resist those changes, just flow with them and enjoy the sensuality of each moment. Respond intelligently to even the least intelligent sexual encounters. Act without expectations and don't allow anyone to make you their priority while you become their choice. Truth in the bedroom is a treasure to be shared only with those who deserve it. Ignorance and trust are keys to success in the bedroom. Out of love comes hatred for circumstances that oppose our passions. The harder the sexual conflict, the more glorious the triumph in pleasure. Appreciate what you get in the bedroom, for what comes easily is often underestimated. Live each day in bed with the determination to fulfill your sexual duties. Do not tell the truth to those who are not worthy of it in the act. All you need in sexual life is ignorance and confidence, and then success is guaranteed. The greatest discovery in bed is that a human being can change his life simply by changing his attitude. Don't be afraid of sex life. Believe that it is worth living, and that belief will help you create the sensual reality you desire. Sex life is a gift to be spent on something that lasts beyond itself. Our view of the world is determined by our actions and decisions in the bedroom. Those who take the longest to make a promise of total surrender are the most faithful lovers in keeping it. True slavery is not in being owned, but in believing oneself the owner of the other's desires and pleasures. You will never find fulfillment if you consider yourself the owner of your lover's pleasures. The constant search for climax can lead you to a dead end. True sexual freedom lies in melting into a shared ecstasy. To find fulfillment in intimacy, we must learn not to worry too much about the judgment of others. Sometimes it is necessary to withdraw from the world in order to give ourselves completely to mutual pleasure. True sexual connection arises when two lovers seek the truth in each other, but always maintaining the spark of passion and mystery. True erotic wisdom is not in the accumulation of experiences, but in mutual self-knowledge. Only those who know each other and give themselves completely to each other can reach sexual fulfillment. Hope can be a fire that fuels passion, but it can also be a heavy burden if it is not shared. True sexual enlightenment comes when we dive into the darkness together and discover new corners of pleasure. Loving deeply can open us to new experiences and unimaginable pleasures. The greatest risk is not exploring the limit of passion, but never having tried it. We, as lovers, are shaped by the intimacy we share. However, true erotic greatness lies in the ability to maintain our identity and values even in the midst of shared ecstasy. To hurt themselves, people generally know what they are doing and often know why they are doing it, but they often do not understand the implications of their actions. Where there is power, there is always resistance. You don't need to be sad to fight for what is right, even if what is being fought against is unpleasant. Forgiveness is the key to freeing yourself and to truly loving. To love is to open yourself to vulnerability. If you want to protect your heart from possible harm, it is best not to give it to anyone, not even a loved one. Crying is fine, but there comes a time when you need to decide what to do next. I have learned that those who talk about your miseries usually have their own problems. Pride always looks down, never up. Hurtful words can hurt your feelings, but silence can shatter your heart. A smart man rarely gives second chances in 3 situations: when trust is broken, when love is underestimated, and when time is wasted. True pride comes not from having more than others, but from valuing what you have. The greatest wealth is to be satisfied with what you have. Avoid suffering at all costs. You can only achieve true happiness through inner peace. The main task of the human being is to discover his true identity and develop his potential. I learned that if you pursue your dreams with confidence, you can achieve success even in everyday situations. The key is not what you look at, but what you actually see. Don't be too moralistic, as you may miss out on many valuable experiences. Don't just be good, be exceptional at something. Our life is consumed in the details, and often things don't change, we change. It's never too late to let go of your prejudices and open your mind. The heart has reasons that reason does not understand. People often form their beliefs without evidence. An intelligent person shows emotional control in 3 situations: in the face of ignorance, during personal success, and in times of deep disappointment. If you want people to think well of you, demonstrate your worth instead of talking about yourself. Distraction is often a way to escape our miseries, but it can also be a source of comfort. It is important to dream to find meaning in life. We can't change the sexual preferences of others, but we can choose not to be influenced by them. Why worry about someone who doesn't enjoy the same fantasies as you? Better take care of your own satisfaction. I was taught in my home that if I have a desire and you do too, then we can both find pleasure together. My satisfaction in bed is the best gift I can give myself and my partner. Of all the things you carry with you, your attitude in bed is the most important. We all have our dark and light sides. The essential thing is which one we choose to enhance during our sexual encounters. She fell in love with her own sensuality and not just her looks, and when the passion came, she didn't know what to do with so much desire. He who gives up at the first attempt to experiment in bed will never know the fullness of his fantasies come true, as he will lack the time to explore them. You are solely responsible for building the sex life you desire. Each moment of intimacy is a unique gift that will not be repeated. Pleasure is found in the experience of the present, without worrying about the future or clinging to the past. Focus on yourself. People come and go in your sex life. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Sometimes the experiences that break your heart are the ones that allow you to grow sexually. Loneliness is the price you pay when you begin to explore your sexuality. Be proud that you overcame those times when you thought you couldn't fulfill your desires. Not everyone will be with you on your erotic journey, and that's okay. Stop sharing every intimate detail with others. Most are not interested and some secretly desire your sexual failure. Be nice, but don't let people use you for their own pleasure. It is better to be hated for being authentic in your sexuality than loved for pretending to be someone you are not. Don't drain your energy trying to change the sexual tastes of others. Make peace with your sexual past so it doesn't affect your present. Don't compare your performance in bed with that of other men. Never underestimate the power of sexual ignorance. No one can fully understand your innermost desires. It is your responsibility to explore them. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. If no one helps you discover your pleasure, sometimes you lose and learn on your own. Take your sexual health seriously. Taking care of your body is fundamental to fully enjoy sex. Be selective with your partners. Not everyone deserves to share your intimacy. What others think of your sexual preferences is not your concern. You cannot change your past experiences, but you have the power to shape your future sexual encounters. Solitude gives you the opportunity to reconnect with yourself and discover what really turns you on. Sometimes, you need to look beyond appearances and explore new fantasies. Don't try to be better than other men in bed. Aspire to be the best lover for yourself and your partners. Life is too short to waste it on sexual hatred. Even in your darkest moments, you can find pleasure and learning. Sexual jealousy is a waste of energy. You already possess everything you need to enjoy sex fully. If you don't express your desires, you will hardly fulfill them. Treat your sexual partners as you would like to be treated. Sexual honesty frees you from having to hide your fantasies. Sex life can be unfair, but there are always new experiences and learning to enjoy. Don't rely on words, rely on erotic actions. Do yourself a favor, become rich in sensual experiences. Life is more exciting with passion than with time. If you can master your own erotic thoughts, you can overcome any sexual challenge. If you don't satisfy your partner in bed, then you don't deserve his or her attention. Learn to enjoy yourself without causing harm to others in the process. To avoid sexual disappointments, don't expect anything from anyone. Everything comes at the right time. Be patient and trust the seduction process. Failure in bed is just a minor setback, not a life sentence. Time always reveals what you really value in intimacy. Sexual stress is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it can last a lifetime. Money isn't everything in sex life, but it can help you explore new dimensions of pleasure. No matter how dexterous you are, how attractive you are, how gifted you are, no one likes arrogance in the bedroom. Humility and sensuality are the keys to a true connection. Don't regret being open-minded in bed. All good things come back and multiply in shared satisfaction. Don't feel guilty about seeking your own sexual pleasure. Choose your lovers well. The fastest way to be a better lover is to choose the best sexual partners. Be true to your desires or enjoy your sexual singleness. It's simple. Don't expect anything in the bedroom, appreciate all that is offered to you. Appreciate the small sexual pleasures to find inner peace. Give your best in bed and trust the process. The more you explore, the more satisfaction you will have. Never take things in the sexual realm personally. Other people's preferences are a projection of your own erotic reality. Forgive, be understanding, but don't be stupid in the game of seduction. Never say, maybe, when you mean, yes, or, no. When someone shows you their true self in the bedroom, believe it the first time. Self-love must be stronger than your sexual inhibitions. Don't let sexual success go to your head, and don't let sexual failure go to your heart. The best way to respect yourself in the bedroom is to follow your desires with respect for your partner. If you are a generous lover, don't forget to know your own limits, because those who only take have no limits. Don't waste time on sexual explanations. People just want to experience what turns them on. Accept constructive criticism in bed, but never accept sexual disrespect. Never give up on exploring your deepest fantasies. It's hard to wait, but it's even harder to regret not having done so. When you're in the midst of the action, be quiet and enjoy the moment. You have 3 choices in sex life. You can watch things happen, make things happen, or wonder what happened in intimacy. Stay strong, even when things start to fall apart in the bedroom. You will be judged on your sexual skills, so be who you want to be. You don't have to win every night of passion. Agree to disagree and keep exploring. Don't regret anything in the bedroom, just learn from every encounter. No worries, just acceptance. No expectations, just gratitude for every experience. Sex life is too short to be worried. The more relaxed you are, the clearer you think, the more interesting you are to others, and the more they find you desirable. To be the perfect lover, you must be in tune with your own desires and those of your partner. Sexual hatred is a curse that does not affect the hater, it only poisons the one who experiences it. Get rid of grudges and enjoy passion without inhibitions. We suffer more in the erotic imagination than in the reality of the sexual encounter. People change, love hurts, sexual encounters may not turn out as you expected, but don't forget that life goes on and there are always new experiences to explore. Learn to say no without explaining yourself in the bedroom. Be a confident and respectful lover. Never reveal all your sexual plans to your friends. Don't trust them too much to keep your privacy. Don't let anyone know what you are planning until you have carried it out. If you want your partner to trust you, be honest in bed. The only person who cares about your erotic dreams and sexual hopes is yourself. You will forget some experiences, but never forget the pleasure they gave you. Dear, I invite you to share in the comments the phrase that you liked or inspired you the most. If you want more inspiring content full of wisdom like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any video. See you in the next video. May wisdom and love guide every step of your way.